Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gray Exchange with your host, GreyMan. Sorry about the delay. I was trying to pull some last minute things together, and I kind of had a guest going on and stuff like that, but then they had some emergencies and whatnot, so I rescheduled those folks for down the road. So I'm not going to spoil that surprise, but when that guest comes, we'll go ahead and touch on that. Let me say what's up to the folks in chat. First of all, and if you are here, hopefully you hit that thumbs up already. I truly appreciate that. Good evening, Yarn Prepper, Terry D, Bonnie Bethel, Freedom Dad, Franklin Homestead. What is up, brother? Ark Wildman is in the house. Stewart's Prepping, Milo on the ready, Harvey Black, Colleen Rich, Jam at the Nut House. What is up? How you doing tonight, Jam? Let me see, Dennis Nixon, Leona Riley, Scott. What is going on, brother? Kind of peruse through this thing here. JT's in the house. Looks like people are having coffee and donuts. I got the coffee. Too late for me to have donuts. Did I say what's up, Stuart? Hopefully I did. Bonnie Bethel. I don't know if I said Terry. Loretta Houch, if I got that correctly. I got a lot of new names coming in, which is awesome. I want to touch on that as well. Northern Girl Hobby is good to see you, Jen. Roaming Preppers in the house. Dennis Nixon. Try not to repeat names. You know how I'm an old man and I forget stuff. What's up, G-Mac? How you doing? Let me see. I know I said that one. Shadow Scout Swede, all the way from Sweden. What's up, my brother? I know it's always morning over there. It throws me off, man. But I'm glad you're here, man. Truly appreciate that. And, of course, the chat jumps on me. I see Dragons in the house. Gary, Angie, Monashi, Jeff Sams, D14, Kelly, Boots and Bounty. Autoimmune, Barbara, Bartley, Big Bear Prepper, Allison Sherman, Hig Homestead, I think Jan Sam, Annie Oakley, love the name. All right, let me make sure if I'm Dozer's in the house. Trying to scroll through this. Prepper Chicken, Texas, Rip Curl, what is up all the way from the West Coast? Arlith is in the house. What's up, Arlith? Trying to get through here. Marcia Bostetter. S. Moore, all the way from Canada. On S. Moore, I know it's late. You and Northern Girl Hobbies and North Shore Preparedness, all you folks out in Canada. I didn't know it was Thanksgiving out there, but happy Thanksgiving yesterday. So you guys got to get what I'm saying. Wreath Paparazzi, what is up? Chief Preppers in the house. Dun, dun, dun. Did I miss anybody? Gary Morley. I think I caught everybody. Did I catch everybody? Arkansas Whoop-ass. Empress Kimberly, all the way from New Hampshire. And I think I'm caught up, folks. I think, actually, I see someone else. Doing Godan, if I got that right. Kelly 61, how you doing? All right, so before we get into our live stream tonight, there's a few things I want to talk about before we get into the meat and potatoes per se of the live stream. Right on, S. Moore. I can't wait to my Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite times. But I can be gluttonous at that point, I guess. I don't know. What's up, Cherokee Survival? Anyways, folks, one thing I do want to bring to attention, it was brought to my attention. So, you know, anything that someone brings to my attention, a lot of you folks may already know this or may not. We had a community member pass away. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Patty B. Did you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen, it's Patty B. I think she passed away on the 25th of September. So I want to let everybody know that. My prayers go out to her and her family. I didn't know. I just received an email, kind of like a thing that kind of surprised me, to be honest with you. It worries me, and that's why a lot of times you'll say, if I don't see someone in chat for a while, I start wondering what's going on. Like, where's Wink? I can't find Wink anywhere. I've been trying to get a hold of Wink for quite some time to let her know that she won last week's Super Chat of the Month, which makes me, I always forget to put that banner up, but yeah, I was pretty, I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So again, my prayers go to her and her family. Yeah, it's very sad, very sad. I didn't have a clue what was going on. Yeah, she was, I remember Patty B because I remember always, you know how I read names, a lot of these names start to stick in my head, because I see you guys on a consistent basis. We're getting a lot of new names, which is awesome. But I do remember Patty B being in chat a lot a while back. And what was it? I was going to touch on that. But yeah, it's a very disheartening thing. So just prayers for her. Bell Prepper, how you doing? So Cellar Door, what is up? Yeah, it's very sad. And sorry to open the live stream with that, but I wanted to kind of get that out the way because I wanted everybody to know. Some folks may have known who Patty B was. You know, when it comes to any community member, if someone emails me and lets me know something happened, it's I like to know that kind of stuff. PNP, what is up? And I'm letting you guys, Phoenix, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, me and Magic, that was a good time last night. Had a good time. Had a lot of great conversations, man. We sat for like an hour and a half afterwards, man. Shooting the breeze, man. Talking about things we normally can't talk about on YouTube, you know? No problem, Seabass. I just feel it's appropriate for when somebody brings that to my attention, at least let folks know something like that happens. Being that we might not know people personally, but we know them here on the community. And when something like that happens, if I have the option to voice that, I do so. Agreed, Auden Godon. Agreed. Dennis Nixon says he got 3 tornadoes in the state, one 3 miles northwest of me, another 70 miles south, and third. You know, Dennis, it's ironic you say that. I think was it on the Sunday shift report, or was it the other day? Because I usually don't do lives on Monday. That was kind of a sporadic thing. I didn't know if I was going to do a live tonight because I don't want to inundate you folks with live streams. But I figured usually I'm always live on Tuesday, so I figured I would go ahead and check in with you folks and come up with some topics to discuss. But I remember talking about, I was reading someone, I was following a storm chaser out there, and then Arkansas, Missouri. I know Chicago got hit by some heavy storms as well. But it doesn't stop, you know. Hey, Judy, how you doing? From Alabama. Judy, I used to live, well, I didn't live, I was younger when my, in the military, what was it? My stepmom was in the military, and she was, what base was that? It was Huntsville, Alabama. She worked the base out there. Thank you, Esmore, and I agree. Anything like that kind of happens. And thank you, Bell Prepper, for hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Very sad indeed. All right, so moving on. What else did I have for you, folks? I want to say, I really want to say thank you to a lot of you folks out there that have been watching me for quite some time. A lot of the new folks that have been finding me either through YouTube or through other channels that I do some collabs with. I want to say thank you to everybody. We're roughly about, I don't know, 85, 90 subscribers away from hitting that 10K mark. That's mind blowing, to be honest with you. I was shocked when I saw those numbers this morning. So that means the best thing that I can look at is that the message will be getting out there, and more folks are tuning in to watch. And the thing is even as I grow, I start spreading things like, let's say, some of the people that I interview, like Boots and Bounty, and Bland's Promise Ranch, and so on and so forth. The list goes on. That I'm helped building that community as well. So it's pretty awesome. What's up, Scarzo? Trying to see if I missed anything in chat. And I know Shift Engineering and Autoimmune and a few other you folks, content creators out there, had Redstone Arsenal. Thank you, Judy. Have mentioned to me in regards to about the thing that we're going to do, the creator kind of teach you guys things. That's still not, it's not off the table. We're still going to do it. I just got to find a good date for that. And I'm hoping towards the end of this month, but I will get with you guys. I have you guys in a special email. So Jerry Robbins from Blue Ridge Mountains checking in. What's up? Yeah, Harvey Black, we're almost there, man. Lady Gray asked me, she's like, what does it matter to you? Like, why do you care? And I said, man, honestly, that's all I just want to hit 10K. And after that, whatever happens to the channel, if it grows, it goes stagnant, whatever happens. I just thought that's just like I guess a personal thing that I wanted to do when I started YouTube. Not building a community, building a family. That's a great way to put it, Milo. Empress Kimberly. I was at the grocery store the other day, and I know you guys are probably wondering if I'm going to get into this topic, and yes, we are. We're going to get into several topics, but I found these books, and I was wondering if you guys ever come across these magazines. They have a lot of great information in them. I don't know if you guys read magazines or not. I put these, on the table in the living room, and I have some in the bathroom for that reading time and whatnot. But yeah, they have some great information in there. I don't know if you guys ever come across those magazines in your areas. I did go on a few hunts today. Hunt says someone was saying that Dollar Tree had a bunch of seeds on sale. I checked every single one in my county, or at least in my area, and I didn't go to the entire county because that would have taken me all day. Couldn't find any. One good news is I have my Presto. It's a 23 quart. I think that's what it said. Presto 23 quart. Got it on sale. Canner on its way here. It should be here this week or early next week. So that's awesome. So you guys will finally get to see me attempt to can and do some pickling and stuff like that with the vegetables I have out of the garden. So it should be pretty interesting to see someone who has no clue. I ordered some books on canning as well, so I can do some step-by-step stuff, even though a lot of you guys have given me help in learning. Yarn Prepper, I checked Dollar General as well, because that's right around the corner from where I live. I checked that Dollar General and then the one over by my shop, and they didn't have any either. But I know there's a few more that I can hit. Yeah, right. Arc Wild, man. I wouldn't suggest. Don't listen to me when it comes to that canning stuff, man. Like I said, it's going to be a shot in the dark, but I'm going to give it my best. And but it'll be a learning experience, and I'll bring you guys along with that. JM says make sure you have extra gaskets and weights. Weights I did not get. I did get an extra pressure thingy that you screw on the top. I did get a few extra gaskets and some stuff like that. Now, one thing. What's up, Montana Sky? One thing I do want to ask you guys is I had I'm in a debate in regards to the dehydrator. You guys know the dehydrator that I almost did a review on that's trash, but I'm going to buy a new dehydrator. But I have two people telling me what to pick, and I know I don't have room for the Excalibur. I know the Excaliburs are great, but I'm picking out one out of these two. The Roaming Prepper, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Taco and coffee because ammo is too expensive. Inflation. Right on, brother. Right on. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that support, brother. So I was thinking about doing what Magic does. I've never done it too often. Let me see if I can fix my screen here and do a poll. If I can type this really fast. I guess I should have typed this before I even started, but I've never done a poll before, but I wanted your guys' input, I guess. See if it'll autocorrect me. Yep, it will. That's awesome. And I'm only going to choose from these two, so it's only going to be two options. I have both of them in my cart. And they sound very similar, but they both have benefits and whatnot. So I'm going to ask the community either the Nesco or the Presto dehydrator, and I'm going to throw that in there, and I'll come back to it down around. You guys are more than welcome to which one that you would prefer out of those two. I know there's other ones out there. There's lots of different versions out there, but I want your guys' opinion because I'm torn between the two because Jeff is telling me this and someone else is telling me that. So I figured I'd get your guys' opinion. And Jeff is probably watching this. He's probably like, no, I told you the Presto. All right. So make sure I got everything else. Is that all I wanted to talk about? I know I'll be dropping my video tomorrow. Thursday will be Late Night with Grey. That being said, we'll probably do some mail call. If I do have any mail, I got to check the post office box for any postcards or anything like that. So I'll be checking for that. So that should be kind of cool. And that looks right. Sorry, I'm just checking some of my screens to make sure everything is kosher. All right, we're good there. So let's kind of get into this. Excalibur trumps them both. But yeah, stay survived. I like the Excalibur. Matter of fact, JM had donated to me to get the Excalibur. I'll be 100% honest with you folks. But after looking at the Excalibur, the cost and the room, I just don't have the space for it right now. Down the road, that might be something I'll be looking into. So right now, so what I've done with that is got the Presto. It was on sale. I think I paid only like 127 or something like that. Then the dehydrator, and then a couple of the odds and ends, some books and magazines and stuff like to get me started. I did it nasty. If I had the funds, I'd buy a freeze dry. Yeah, no, Bell Prepper, I agree. Like a harvest right or something like that. That'd be awesome. Eventually, one day, you never know. I was pondering that as well with my income taxes, but I don't have the room. Unless I can move out of where I'm at, then I would go down that road. What's up, Farmer Son Prepping? How you doing? So let's if you guys want to dive into some of this, I got my Nesco at Goodwill for 20. Man, that's awesome, Milo. I read that it had lots of reviews on the Nesco. A lot of people said it's a really good thing because of the way it heats and whatnot. So what's up, Gardner Josh? How you doing? Angela says she loves her Excalibur. It's on right now, and that's great. I'm glad everybody's out there canning and dehydrating. getting ready for the worst case scenario. Rip Curl says, I'm using the Presto as we speak, and it works great for the cost. Yeah, I think the Presto is about $40 or $50 cheaper than the Nesco, but I'm trying to weigh the pros and cons. And I figured I'd ask the community, and we'll just roll from there. And whatever the community picks, I'll probably purchase, because you guys are a lot more, I guess, versed in it than I am. I only had to change the gasket once, work like a trooper. Awesome. Can some deer Arc Wild, man, that sounds awesome, man. I need to get me some venison, see how it plays out this year. Have to rotate the trays. I don't prefer that. Roger that. Are these coffee makers? No, Kelly. They are dehydrators. They are dehydrators. I have plenty of coffee makers. I have from the most generic possible coffee maker in the world to like some of the more advanced coffee makers. I'm ready for the apocalypse when it comes to coffee. What's up, Stay Survive? Texas Tea in the house. How you doing? I'm not getting notifications. How long have you been on? Texas Tea, I started this stream at 9:15. I was a little bit late. I usually do it at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you're not too far behind, man. I haven't even got into the topics yet. So you're doing good, brother. I'm just doing a little house cleaning and touching on a few things. YouTube is doing some things. Harvey Black is going through some stuff. We're trying to post things in the comments. So I've learned this. I got a couple letters back from YouTube, and they say anybody who posts links in the chat, regardless if they're a moderator or not, they usually either hold them for review, but then when I check that section of YouTube, I don't see that there. So I don't see any, what's it called? Any people dropping links. So if you're trying to, like, let's say, refer me to another channel or give me some information in regards to a link you want me to do, the best place to do it is in my Discord, which the link is down below. I know some people don't want to mess with Discord, but it's a really simple app. Even I'm getting better at it. Or email me the links, or you can try to type it out, but you can't put the .com. It can't be like a HTTP link. It just won't show it. I've already argued with YouTube about it, and they're give me Rachel Brady. That's what I hear. Eventually, I will have an Excalibur. Maybe I'll even have a harvest right at that point. Texas T, is good to see you as well. Thank you so much for the super chat. I truly appreciate the additional support, my friend. All right, so moving on, I guess you guys want to hear some of these topics that I got, and I'm going to dive into a few. Now, remember this: I am not an expert when it comes to geomagnetic storms and solar stuff, CMEs, EMPs. I'm not the expert in that. A lot of you folks that are either new to my channel, I'll refer you to, and Harvey probably will drop it if Harvey's listening. The interview that I did with Dr. Arthur T. Bradley a while back, I think it was about 3 months ago. He is the CME EMP expert. He works for NASA. He's a scientist. He's one of the world-renowned folks in this field. Check out the interview. He has a lot of great information about Faraday cages and things that you can use. Talks about the microwave and trash cans and all kinds of stuff like that. Very intellectual gentleman. So I'm going to just talk about what I've learned and what I've researched so far. But I think what we're going to touch on first is what do I want to touch on first? Let's kind of touch on some of the little quick things. Dennis, you're having what is it called? Reception issues. I am 5x5 from my understanding. Everything's good on my end on both sides. I don't see any issues. Montana Sky, right? Why buy one twice? Get good right away. I have no choice. If I want to dehydrate, I don't have no room for an Excalibur. I would have to show you my personal life in my kitchen, and there's no room. I'm in a small, tiny place. So what I'm going to do, and this is how I look at it, once I get that, and then if I upgrade to something else, then I will gift that to my father or someone else in the family that doesn't have it. Kind of get what I'm saying? So it's not a waste of money, technically. Me being that someone who doesn't have it or had the funds to get that, I will gift that to them. So that's why, to me, I don't look at it as a waste of money. Build a shed. If this was my home, there was a lot of things I would do. Thanks, Donna. Yeah, Rachel, the one I'm looking at, I can't remember. I don't have the specs on it, but I get what you guys are saying. I truly do. So Dennis Nixon is the only one with a 0x0. What's up, Midwest Bow 33? Pay it forward. Exactly, JM. All right, so let's kind of dive into a few things. Harvest Right is the king of the crop. The company has a monthly payment layaway. That's interesting. I hate being in debt, Scars, though. I do. I have enough. I've been paying off a lot of debt over the last several years, and almost out of debt. That's just the game plan that I have set forth for me. I don't want to owe anybody anything. Put the dehydrator beside the bed when you can. Right? Love it. Love it. Way to go. Gift it when you can. Permanent homestead. Way to go. Gift. Yeah. Right on, Dragon. Get chickens. They lay fuel for my FD. Jeremy Taylor, I'm in the process. I know some people might may not agree with me on this process, but I'm going to go to Tractor Supply. I'm going to buy one of their pre-made chicken prefab houses. I'm going to build something around it, but we're going to stick it in the corner because I am allowed to have up to 4 chickens, so I'm going to move that direction. Rachel Brady, I understand. They're not cheap. I mean, some of them are, the freeze dryers are not cheap. The dehydrators are a lot more cheaper. Freeze dryers are definitely not cheap. So do you guys want to jump into some of this? Let me see what you guys have done with this whole thing here. All right, so I'm going to end the poll, and it's almost split down the middle. Man, it's a pretty close, but it looks like yes, chickens. It looks like the Presto won out. So the community spoke. So I'll probably end up going with the Presto then. In the meantime, thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, I figured I'd start a certain way with it. You know what I mean, with the chickens. And again, like I said, my goal here, and maybe a lot of other people that are in the prepared community that don't have a homestead, their long-term goal is to get into a rural area, own some property, and build out their homestead and become self-sufficient. That's my goal. First part was getting out of debt. Right now, we were going to buy something this year, but prices in the market is nasty. It just skyrocketed. The houses that we were looking at. Barbara, I don't know what that means. Barbara Dar, does anyone know why after I hit the like key, if I scroll, it gets erased? That is weird, Barbara. Not sure. But anyways, where was I? I got sidetracked. But so we might have to wait another year. And I got some great news today, folks. If you want to call it that, my rent got raised by $100. He was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. You know how society is and inflation and all this other stuff. So I'm sorry I have to raise the money on you." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." I figured it was coming. Milo, I pondered that as well. So in the meantime, what we're doing is we're probably going to purchase some land. I can find some land at a pretty decent price. It's a rural land. You can't really get there by vehicle. You can use 4-wheelers, or, let's say if you have a decent 4x4 vehicle, you can get there because it's a lot cheaper because there's no roads to get to it. There's just like trails. We thought about we're going to start buying some land that way and kind of build upon that and then start buying forward. So we have that. We'll probably put a pole barn on there and then possibly like a mobile home or trailer or something like that, and then go from there. Barbara, I checked all the dollar trees around here. I went today. That was my hunt for seeds. There was none in my area. So you, Marcia, you got one as well, right? It's a constant situation. What's up, Aussie Mom Homestead? CKOC. I voted, but I have no clue. So please don't choose based on your poll. Right on that. Well, I mean, I've done a lot of research on both. A lot of people use either one of them. That's why the poll was so tight. Landlords allowed to do that. Our rent laws, the landlord can only raise their rent to a certain government allows. Yeah, no, it happens, Bell Prepper. I prepare for things like that. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. I've been waiting for it. What's up, Sherry from Michigan? What is up? All right, so I don't want to bore you guys and just ramble. I know D14 loves to hear me ramble. Amish cabins are great. I'll have to look into that, North Carolina girl. Amish cabins, interesting. Let me see. Buy organic veg at the store and save seeds. Molly's Country House. I do that a lot. Matter of fact, I wish I would have brought it in here with me before I started the stream. But we do a lot of the vegetables and heirlooms that we grew this year. We let some things go to seed and we harvest those seeds, and then we're packaging them, dating them, and all kinds of stuff like that. What is the Google mods? Barbara, the Google mods are bots that are inside this Google. We have no control of what they do. We come on here expecting you to ramble on. All right, I appreciate that, Milo. I guess everybody has their platform and the way they do things differently. Their live stream. Some people are more serious and they're more organized. I kind of try to have a relaxed atmosphere, have a little fun with you guys and interaction. I like to really dive into chat. It's just something that I like to do. and really interact with my viewers. Even if we're, like I said, we're almost at 10K, but I'm still trying to answer every comment, or at least heart every comment. I try to go through them all. If it ever gets crazy, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll have to hire Lady Grey to help me answer comments. Thanks, Donna. Kelly 61 Ramp. So Google has a little AI technology. They're bots, and a lot of organizations have these bots, and they monitor chat. And anything that's they find that they may not like, they don't catch everything. For some reason, the bots don't worry about the trolls, but they worry about everything else. But it's just it's a program. It's a software thing that they come in there and they kind of monitor stuff. Sometimes they hit channels like mine hard. Sometimes they move on to other channels. They're intermittent. Right on, Shadow. Did I miss it? No, our tent life. I haven't even got into the the articles yet. The meat and potatoes of the video. I've just been rambling on for 26 dang minutes. We could do a drone strike on the bots. Yeah, right, Jeff. That'd be awesome. And Christopher Alexander, you're absolutely right. They suck. All right, so let's get into some of this some of the stuff that I have for you. Where do I want to start out with? We'll talk a little bit about the economy. I know it's getting repetitive for a lot of you folks. You guys have been watching the whole Prepperverse. We're talking a lot about inflation and food, labor, and all that stuff like that. But there's a few things that I did want to bring up and talk about that I just came across today. Sarah Goldie says, I like it when you ramble. Oh, Bell Prepper as well. That's awesome. I'm glad that you guys, maybe that's why you guys watch me. I'm a rambling man. So let me start off here. Where was I at? And we're not going to dive too deep into it because we've been pounding this away at this. Matter of fact, let me switch this over so I can read comments on this side. If you build an Amish, we build a cabin for half the lumber and you'll have them for long. That's awesome, CKOC. Thank you. So let's do some screen sharing here. Why is my thing up? That's weird. It's because Discord's open. So sorry, Discord folks. I'm gonna have to shut you down for a minute. I'll not shut you down literally, but get out of that screen because it would not let me do what I'm trying to do. So another manufacturer just made a notice to everybody. It says Kraft Heinz CEO warns shoppers get used to paying more for food over inflation. The CEO of Kraft Heinz, Miguel Patricio. I always like to read if you guys ever watch when I'm doing these articles, you ever read some of this stuff in the side, the comments, they're pretty fun to read. It says, we are raising prices where necessary around the world. He told the BBC, adding that his firm has increased prices on more than half of its products in the United States, Kraft Heinz home market in recent days. You know, like your ketchups, your mustards, and all that kind of stuff like that, Kraft cheeses and all that jazz. So they're going across there. And I know here's what they're blaming it on: the lack of truck drivers in the UK, surge in food prices, logistical costs, shortage of laborers in certain areas of the economy. And he said supposedly the CEO stated that he wouldn't, not all costs would be passed on to the consumers, but I highly doubt that. These billionaires don't really care about us, the consumers. Anyways, I'm kind of going over this, but he also states in here, in this section here, it says whether it's corn, sugar, coffee, soybeans, palm oil, you name it, all of these basic food commodities have been rising, she said, noting that recent challenges to the global market. And they say, they list a couple things why. It says poor harvest in Brazil, which is one of the world's biggest agriculture exporters, the drought in Russia, reduced planting in the U.S., which is ridiculous. We've talked about that in the past, and stockpiling in China have combined with more expensive fertilizer. Excuse me, folks. Sorry. Expensive fertilizer, energy, and shipping costs to push prices up. So that's kind of where I was at with that article. Let me do that. So, like I said, it seems like all the companies are moving that direction when it comes to their prices. I'm going to take a real quick look at chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, we all love inflation, right, Kit? You see here, oh, I missed Dragon. Dragon, thank you for the super chat. Lord, I was born a rambling man trying to make a living and doing the best I can. And when it's time for leaving, I hope y'all understand that I was born a rambling man. Thanks, Dragon, for the support. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Always appreciate it. Thank you so much. Buy Soylent Green will be cheap. Yeah, right, Milo. Oh, I love you guys. You guys are hilarious. Let me see. Alexander the Great coming in with a super chat. Gray, today at work received an email about global supply chain crisis. My work ordered so much. Coworkers won't listen to go buy food. I understand, Alexandra. All you can do is try. You can try to get people on board. You can try to explain to them. You can try to show them the proof is in the pudding. Even mainstream media has been picking all this food shortage and fuel crisis and labor shortages all up. They just don't want to listen until it's so bad. They're going to run into a certain situation where they're just screwed at that point. And, that's all we can do. What's up, Doc Mac and Rena LaRue? What's up, Pony Girl? Should group in some swap seeds. Yeah, Pony Girl, I swap seeds here locally with some of the farmers and people that I've met that are into growing and farming in my area. Dennis Nixon, yeah. Led Zeppelin. Zeppelin is awesome. Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, great people. One thing I want to do, so you folks out in Seattle, I know there's a few folks. I know Rip's out in Oregon and stuff like that, but Seattle's about to get nastier, per se, in regards to what is going on in their little situation. Let me switch this over to Seattle. And the whole what was it? The the riots and stuff that happened over the thing, and trying to defund the police movement and all that crap. Well, here they are now with the whole shortage of more stuff. And let me bring this up for you folks to see. It says Seattle police may fire devastating numbers of officers over the Victor mandate. It says Seattle Police Department could be forced to fire up to 40% of its workforce. And then the statewide Charlie Victor mandate goes into effect, according to the data posted by the department. Last week, the department released its current figures for officers with the Charlie Victor status, showing that 292 sworn officers out of 1,000 haven't received it yet. However, Seattle Police spokesperson Sergeant Randy told Fox 13 that about 111 additional officers are waiting for the results or requests for exemptions to it. So there we go. Seattle again. They've lost so many officers due to this whole defund the police and stuff like that. We've seen that turn into a massive nightmare. Crime is going off the charts continually, and now we have they're going to lose another 40% of their staff. And this is going to lead into another article that I want to get into. I'm saving the robot stuff and the CME and geomagnetic storm for towards the end of this. Liking that computer wallpaper. Right on. Let me see. What's up? And what's up, Charlie? How you doing? Can't stay. Had to stop by and say hello. I appreciate that, Charlie. Thank you for swinging in, brother. Just, hey, Charlie, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, brother. Appreciate it, man. You keep prepping no matter who cares, who doesn't get the... Yeah, exactly, Barbara. Don't stop what you're doing. Yeah, I thought it was his house. Oh, are you talking about my background? Oh, that would be awesome. That's a dream of mine, actually. I found that background and I love it, man. It's just very relaxing and calming. Our tent life, awesome. I'll check that out, brother. I enjoyed your videos of when you built your little thing out there in the woods. That was pretty good stuff, man. I enjoyed it. I just saw your bike videos as well. All right, so moving on. Whenever I do these screen things, I can't see. But a couple things I wanted to jump into. I wanted to kind of finish up on the whole system of law enforcement. And the reason I want to bring this up is because this may affect a lot of folks. Right here, it says the, come on, and I hate these little ads, but it says the 911 system is in jeopardy as first responders reject the, what. It says the American Ambulance Association has warned House and Senate leaders and the nation's EMS system is facing a crippling workforce shortage, a long-term problem that has been building for more than a decade. If it threatens to undermine our emergency 911 infrastructure, endures urgent attention by Congress. The magnitude has really blown up over the last few months, AAA President Sean Baird told NBC. When you take a system that was already fragile and stretch it because you didn't have enough people entering the field, then you throw a public health emergency and all the additional burdens that it put on our workforce, as well as the labor shortages across the entire commodity, it really has put us in crisis mode. That's a scary fact, folks, at least for me, because if something happens to you or your family member, right? What do you do at that point? You go to call 911 and there's not enough operators. There's not enough people to be dispatched. That's going to create a lot of issues. So I find this very, very worrisome because there's folks out there. I just found out today here in Florida, we're having a breathable oxygen shortage because I guess they use oxygen to filter water in certain counties and stuff like that. I don't know how the whole process works, so don't ask me. But the people that are being put on oxygen in their homes and stuff like that, they're having a shortage of that. Remember, if you guys remember seeing, was it India that was running into that same situation? And you saw people in the streets with oxygen masks on their face. It was like a hot commodity. So it's hard to believe that we're seeing that here in the U.S. or even in Florida, to say the least, that folks might not have the availability to get the oxygen tanks. So when I read that, I was like, wow, that's nuts. That's nuts, man. Donna, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks to all the preppers. And please remember Backroads Living and the loss of Charles and his wife, Sandy. Thanks for Grey for all you do. I appreciate that, Donna. I'm sending out definitely sending out prayers to his family. When you mentioned that the other day, I went over there and just kind of watching some of his old videos and whatnot. It sucks to lose people. But thank you for putting that in there, Donna. And thank you for the super chat and your support. Truly appreciated. Kelly Ram, yeah, keep your head on a swivel. You just never know what's coming. You never know what's coming, folks. Make friends with the laid off nurses and doctors. Community involvement is available now. Yeah, no, I'm not really supposed to talk too much about this because they don't want to be named. In my shop, we had a small meeting of some nurses and a couple docs. They came in, was it Thursday, and there was a few of them were there. We had this huge discussion. I can't really talk about it here on the tube, of course, but it was shocking, some of the information they were giving me. Maybe I'll do a BitChute only. I am on BitChute. I don't know if you guys know that I'm on BitChute. The link's down below in the description. All my links down below are in the description, but BitChute, I can speak a little bit more freely and kind of maybe go over that. I can't use names or nothing like that, but I can only pass on the information that they gave to me, and they conversated amongst themselves on what was transpiring. But I was shocked to hear their point of view of what's going on in regards to a lot of the stuff in the health crisis. Yes, Kit. Thank you for that. Yes. Like I said, it was intriguing to read that. Thanks, Donna. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. All right, moving on to some of these articles. I don't want to eat up too much of your time rambling on. Let me see here. As we all know, we're feeling this very hard. And here's the ironic thing before I show this is in the summer, gas prices usually rise in the summer, and in the fall time, they usually come down. But as you guys know, we're not. We're not. It's getting pretty nasty out there. But it says U.S. gas prices rise to a new 7-year high with no drop in sight. So, folks, like we were talking about on Magic's channel last night, that when he asked me, he says, do you see anything, you see things getting better anytime soon? All the economists that I've talked to, or research papers and articles and anything that I can, digest and get my hands on, I have not heard one person say that it's going to be resolved anytime soon. And here we go. Now this says, U.S. gas prices rose on Columbus Day to $3.27 cents a gallon, a new 7-year high. The cost of a gallon of gas keeps rising, with some experts saying there's no drop in sight. The primary driver is the climbing price of crude oil, analysts say. It accounts for between 50 to 60% of the price of gas for drivers, according to the American Automobile Association, AAA, as you guys know. And what we can say about this is just imagine if we didn't cancel that pipeline. Just imagine we didn't cancel that pipeline. Maybe that would have gave us some assistance in this issue. Maybe gas prices wouldn't be where they're at if we weren't becoming dependent on other countries. I don't want to get too political on you, but kind of get where I'm going with that. Maybe if our current administration was more about the people than doing things the wrong way, I say. At least that's how I feel about it. It's my personal thing. I don't want to put my political views out there, on top of you when we're just having a good time talking about gas. Let me see. Kelly Ram says our gas is $3.13. 9's up from 2 days ago. Yeah. Bonnie Bethel's gas is up to $3.69 to $3.79 for diesel, up 20 cents in a week. Yeah, my gas just jumped 11 cents here. I know some of you guys are probably, I got to get this out there. Some of you guys are probably looking at my my mug. My wife buys me these mugs. I wonder if it'll focus on there. My wife buys me these mugs because she thinks it's funny for me to drink these mugs. She knows I'm a coffee fanatic, and she always gives me these mugs of coffee. And then I look at them and all my viewers are going to be reading this stuff. Oh man, she just likes to play with me. Oh, love her to death though. Marcia Bostetter, I just noticed I might have almost missed that super chat. Thank you so much for your support. She says, thank you for your videos. Keep on prepping and sharing. Thank you. I appreciate that. The man ain't. Let me see. This is no, he's all about another can of spam. Buy him another one. All right, awesome. Sorry, Ludo, you're gone. Later, buddy. I don't tolerate trolls in my chat. I don't tolerate them at all. I get rid of them quick. They take what? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, mods. I might have done something. Let me see here. Yeah, there we go. I fixed it. My apologies. What's up, Frontier Preppers? Sorry we're late. Just walking through the door. Awesome. Good to see you, brother and sister. DB says $4.80 regular gas at Chevron. Yeah, Donna, I don't tolerate those type of people. I know some people like to tolerate them. I don't. I'd rather get rid of them. They take away from the content. They take away from the chat. They can go jump off a bridge. That's all I care about. Let me see here. Texas T says, thanks for the super chat. First of all, brother, my granddaughter got married the other day, and the pastor turned into a prepper wedding. That's awesome. You can watch it at Texas Prepper Life with Texas T. I'll have to check that out, man. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, brother. Thanks for sharing it. I appreciate that. All right, so moving on. What else do I have for you? I know our tent life. He wants to talk about the robots. It's not here in the U.S. yet, but you know how everything starts somewhere. Because when we were talking on last night's chat, someone was talking about the Terminator and all that stuff like that. So it made me find this article that I wanted to talk about last night, but I couldn't find it, and I found it now, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Let me pull that up for you guys, and then, like I said, then we'll get into the whole fun CME stuff, which I'm pretty sure some folks have already went over. But I thought I'd share this with you guys because I thought it was pretty interesting what's coming along. We see Kit Carlson coming in with the super chat. At least Mrs. Gray keeps the mugs clean, not too embarrassing. Yeah, I agree, Kit. She does keep the mugs clean and keeps them coming. I'm pretty sure that for this Christmas, you'll probably end up getting me a bunch of crazy ones as well. I have a ton of coffee mugs. I kind of collect them. But thank you, Kit, for that. So here we are. Let's pull this article up for you folks. I'm not going to play the video, but we're just going to touch on it. It says, it's almost like RoboCop, you know what I mean? It says, new robots patrolling for antisocial behavior causing unease in Singapore streets. So this is down in Singapore. And you see this guy here trying to push that robot. So this robot, I kind of want to dive into a little bit. It says, there are the new sheriffs in town in Singapore, and they are unnerving to many who live there. I think that would be unnerving to anybody. We've seen how robots can go sideways when things happen bad, right? They're just programmable pieces of machinery. Luckily, they haven't armed this thing, so that's a plus, right? But the robot is called Xavier. The robots are equipped with 7 cameras that enable them to detect undesirable social behavior. For instance, if you're incorrectly park your bike, if you smoke in an unauthorized area, or if your social distancing is not being respected. So if you're not 6 feet apart, this robot will get a hold of the other folks and get people. They'll video you, they'll take pictures of you, and then you get hit with probably either fines or possibly an arrest. I don't know the whole gist of it. It says if the robot is around something that happens, people in the control room will have a trace and will be there to see what happened. The robots initially patrols a housing estate and shopping center as a part of a 3-week trial. And so, just so you guys know, I've been getting smarter about this. Let me stop sharing the screen here and bring us down so I can get back to chat. Where am I at? So what happens when you have too many screens? There are some of these articles that I'm going over with you folks. Down below in the description, I linked a bunch of these articles because I know some of the folks like to follow up with the articles that I'm going over in chat. So if you look in the description of the video down below, I have some links to these articles as well. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Well, do you guys remember the red light cameras? I don't know if you guys had those in your areas. A lot of people found out it was here in Florida. They filed petitions against it and they removed the red light machines per se because it was unconstitutional. People were getting tickets that weren't supposed to be getting tickets. Just a quick, I guess, tidbit there. RT, yeah, agreed. Craziness, man. Yeah, little tattlebots. I like that, Kit. That's hilarious. I like the way you had little tattlebots. But like I said, not a problem, our tent life. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with me, brother. I appreciate that, brother. But I figured I knew you were waiting on that, so I figured before I get into the longer topic, I'd hit that for you. But yeah, if you want to catch up on that Tent Life, the article's down below, and you can kind of read through it and share it with some folks if you want other people to do it. Mountain Grandma, yes, it is very crazy. Let me see here. Been doing that for decades. Them bots wouldn't last long around here, right, South Florida? In South Florida, I know I still got to get a hold of your email. I saw it there. I got to get it. It's just been, you know, sometimes you just get busy, man. But I'll get with you. I see it in there, and I got it saved, marked. Metaphor, yeah, right, Dennis. Consider the answers. Those cameras were an experiment to see what they could get away with. Right. Agreed. It's always an experiment per se. Let me see. Yeah, Barbara. It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that, Barbara, because here in the local WalMarts I have, they have more self-checkout lanes. The janitors have been replaced by these machines that got to clean the floors and stuff. It's soon everything will just be full AI, full robotics, and there won't be no jobs. The government will want you to be on some sort of universal basic income. You sit there, we do everything for you, and you know how that works out long term. I should not have to tell you how that will play out. And like I said, moving on to 2022, we're getting close to the end of 2021, right? And that's the reason I titled this thumbnail 2022, because I guarantee you folks, and I know this is a little bit depressing in certain things, because I don't think that you're not going to see any improvements the following year, at least from my perspective. And now I always say, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. That being said, you know, I prefer to be wrong. I'd rather someone come back and be like, hey, Grey, you said 2022 is going to be worse than 2021. You're wrong. Cool. I'm happy I'm wrong, because I don't want it to be bad. I don't want it to get worse. I want things to get better, honestly. You know, I want the primaries to take place, and maybe you know, the politicians will, you know, get their head out of their, you know what, and get America back the way it's supposed to be. I said I'm trying not to get too political on this, but Renee, welcome. And if everybody can welcome Renee, she is new here tonight. That's awesome, Renee. Good to see new folks. I appreciate that, Renee. Thanks for coming in to visit the Gray Man on the Gray channel. It's not so gray, but the evil robots are made in Boston Dynamics. Even thanks, Ken. You know, I have to do more research on it, because there's of course, you guys have heard of Watson, right? What is it? IBM's AI intelligent machine. It's beat like the chess players and all that stuff like that. Just think what we read in articles, what we see on TV, or what we come across, you know that the government or any other entity, there's a lot of things that we don't know. So if they're showing us this much, they're probably 10 years ahead of the game when it comes to something else. Just saying, that's my perspective on that. I appreciate all you viewers saying welcome to Renee. I like to whenever I see someone new, someone says, hey, I'm new here, I like to welcome them, you know what I mean? Because this is an awesome community here on the Gray family. To me is a very welcoming and loving community. At least that's how I feel about it. Yeah, Milo, exactly. If we're prepped hoping to be wrong, but if we're not, at least we're prepped. We're prepped and ready. We have things that we need. Like I said, it's a security blanket for our families. Insurance of survival. All right, folks, let's get into this this last kind of hodgepodge of articles that I got here. Yeah, Donna, Alaska Prepper referred you. That's awesome, Donna. And like I said, me and Rudy I love Rudy. He's an awesome individual, great content. I'm glad he is growing the way he is growing. He deserves every bit of it, man. He does so much for the community. I hope one day to do that myself. I would love to have a community where I can fill a U-Haul or something full of food and drop that off at a food bank. That'd be awesome. So I commend Rudy for doing the things he does for the community. It's freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. And Mountain Grandma says, Milo and already, I doubt we're wrong, but hey, we still have it, right? Yeah, agreed. Yeah, D14, I agree. All right, so let's jump on to this. I know some folks have discussed this. I kind of want to give you a little bit of breakdown, because I know there's a lot of people that get worried about coronal mass ejections. They get worried about EMPs and stuff like that. And you've been seeing, if I can recommend any channel who really breaks down this. All right, I'm going to do two things. One is, if you haven't seen it, I know I'm being repetitive, go watch my interview with Dr. Arthur T. Bradley. Okay, it's in it's one of my most viewed videos, and there's a good reason behind it is because, like I said, he is one of the nation's leading CME and EMP experts. He's a NASA scientist. He's a best-selling author. Great content in that interview that I did with him. Outside of that, if you want daily updates in regards to coronal mass ejections and CMEs and solar flares and geomagnetic storms, the channel is Suspicious Observers. I watch the Suspicious Observers. There's 3 channels I watch for a lot of information: Suspicious Observers, Adapt 2030, and Christian at the Ice Age Farmer. Those are kind of 3 that I kind of pull a lot of information from outside of the prepperverse of things. All right, let me see here. So let's kind of dive into a little bit of this here. Let me bring this up for you folks. To me, it's pretty intriguing. But as you guys know, you guys seen a lot of volcanic activity. You've seen it in Hawaii, Las Palmas. Where else? Over in Greece, there was an earthquake as well. Or there's volcanic activity. Everything is popping up. And if you guys have heard of the solar minimum and the solar maximums and stuff like that, I don't specialize in that. That's why I watch Suspicious Observers. They kind of break all that stuff down and educate myself on it. But let's bring up a few of these articles just to kind of go over it, to say that we did, right? So this is what we're talking about. Yesterday, it says the CME from October 9th, 2021, because it takes, CMEs, we do have some sort of early warning system. Regardless, it depends on the intensity of a CME, which is a coronal mass ejection, which is basically a solar flare that comes and hits the Earth. You guys have probably heard of the Carrington event. If not, it's something you should look up. Again, we discussed it on that interview. But anyways, it arrived early on October 12th. It was a G2. CMEs and stuff like that, they're rated G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, depending on their intensity. This is straight from NOAA, which is the National whatever aeronautic is, that kind of thing. But matter of fact, I think I linked this down in the description below as well. So this is what we're talking about. It was a moderate geomagnetic storm. It was extended into, today is the 12th, so it's extended into today. When you go to the sites and you click on these things, you can kind of see some of the expulsions from the sun, and you can see how it rushes towards the Earth and whatnot. I did have an article on that as well. It said solar storm expected to hit Earth soon. This was dated on the 11th, so that was a day ago. Could cause power grid satellite disruptions. The geomagnetic storm caused by a solar flare is slated to impact Earth this week, which it did. But you got to remember, I have an app on my phone where this thing keeps on going. I'm sorry, and I can't see chat if you guys are. Let me see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I got to keep an eye on chat sometimes. So I do apologize if I'm missing anything. But I'll jump back in the chat as soon as I finish these few articles. Anyways, it says it's slated to impact Earth this week, potentially causing disruptions to power grids and satellite communications, according to the U.S. Space Weather Prediction Center. The agency, which is run by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, that's the NOAA, issued a geomagnetic storm watch, noting that moderate conditions could be possible on Monday and Tuesday due to anticipated arrival of CME or coronal mass ejections from the sun. Well, here we are, Tuesday. We're all still alive, folks. Like I said, it's something to keep an eye on, something to pay attention to, and something to prepare for. When it comes to that kind of situation, it's not like that you can run and hide from it. You know what I mean? But it's something to, I guess, stay vigilant and stay informed on. Learn a little bit about it if you can. And so I wanted to dig a little bit into it. This is the Aurora, I guess, the K index. And usually this red means high. So both of these hits were that was a K5. These were two K6s. And I know some people, well, you're talking Greek to me. Well, I'm talking Greek to myself as well. The K index is a planetary K index is to characterize the magnitude of a geomagnetic storm. So it goes from basically K0 to K9, K9 being heavy. And I actually found a thing here. Where was it at? This was kind of cool. It explains some stuff here, but where was it at? I wanted to, let me see, knock that out. Where was it at? There's somewhere on here that kind of shows where it hit and where it's spreading. You can see the part of over there in Canada. They're probably seeing the Aurora Borealis there. What about, but it's slowly reaching. That's where it kind of spread. I had a chart here, and I'm looking to see where that chart went. Let me see here. Where did it go? This is driving me nuts. I had a chart here to explain the whole K thing, but now it's gone. It must have updated or something. Just give me a second. I'm just looking for something. I'm going to back up a little bit. But this kind of gives you an idea how it spreads. Where is that? What I wanted to show you was the actual. Let me go back here. It probably won't let me. Anyways, it's not going to give me the data that I'm looking for. But anyways, this kind of gives you some more data on the solar wind. There was actually a thing that kind of explained the geomagnetic issues that it can be depending on the K factor, like I said. And like I said, right now we're at a 4. It's active as of right now. Projected max tomorrow's at a K2, which is not very strong. You won't even notice it. But you guys kind of get what I'm saying. Let me go back to my my chat because I'm getting into territory that I'm unfamiliar with. Different tab, GreyMan. I'm looking to see if yeah, I'm looking dragging. I can't find it. I had it, and then it disappeared on me. It was right there, so this site must have updated on me. But you guys will get the generation. Like I said, I put the links down below so you guys can click and read through some of this here stuff. Also, that being said, you have the option to kind of like when you click on these links, it'll take you to these websites, and you can kind of research and learn and at least educate yourself on it. Because you'll see I get alerts all the time, with let's say if it's going to affect radio waves, if it's going to be a G whatever, G1, G2, G3, 4, whatever the case may be. It's like an early warning system. I have an app on my phone that I got from Suspicious Observers from their channel. It's free. You can buy I guess you can probably purchase, I think it's like $3 or $4 for the full spectrum of the app, but it gives me alerts. So on my phone, I'll get an alert saying, hey, there's this kind of solar activity happening, and it gives me the strength of it and whatnot. So at least I have some time to prepare before it hits us. Because you never know, if it ever does hit us, it could be bad. You know what I mean? You never know. It could be another Carrington event. It's not if, it's just when. And we've talked about our grid situation here in the U.S. It's old. It's fallen apart. Matter of fact, I've talked to some people that work in the industry, and they said, you're absolutely right. Where they're always trying to retrofit certain things, but it's like pasting things together, hoping that it holds. But I guarantee you, the bigwigs, let's say the military and stuff like that, they're probably they probably have hardened systems where they don't have nothing to worry about. But the general population, not so much. I'm pretty sure if the grid fails, we'll be dealing with it personally. And if you guys know, if you've ever been in either a hurricane situation after a couple of weeks, matter of fact, I think Bear Independent did a video a while back out his experience down there in Louisiana. Was it Louisiana? Who was that? He was down there somewhere, and he was talking about the whole situation, and that they brought up a pallets and pallets of food, and it only lasted a couple hours. So things get chaotic. He even stated someone that got shot over a gas can, and you don't want to get shot over something like that. So if the lights go out, things get chaotic. Maybe the first day, not so much. The second day, but after about a week without power, people are going to start freaking out because that's going to affect everything. Because most people depend on their bank card. Most people depend on an ATM or banking system. People, have their smartwatch and they touch it, or their phone. They got this Google Pay or Apple Pay or whatever that they use. They're so used to that they don't have any cash on them. I woke someone up the other day because they were trying to pay with their watch and they were having issues. And I said, you don't have any cash? He said, oh, I haven't had cash in several years. So then I went into my spiel, being the person that I am. I said, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? And I kind of gave him some explanations, and he was like, oh, wow. He said, you think I should take $500 and put it to the side in small bills? And I said, yes, you should. And he said, okay, man, that sounds pretty smart. I'm going to take your advice on that. And I said, yeah, do it. Have some money in your car, have some money in your home, have some small bills, have some money put away outside of the bank. Because if the banks fail, or if there's no power to get your money out the bank, you see where you're kind of left up Schitt's Creek, pretty say. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here where I'm missing something. What did I miss here? I'm going to jump back. Sorry, I got to going on that, and sometimes I won't stop. Milo, I'm thinking about reaching back out to the doc and bringing him back on the channel to kind of give us an update if he's learned anything new. If he's seen some more stuff. I don't know. Would you guys like to see the doctor back on the channel? Would you like me to bring Dr. Arthur Bradley? He did say to reach out to him if I want to do a second follow-up interview with him. If you guys want that, you can just put a 1 in the chat for yes and 2 for no, so I at least know how you guys are feeling in regards that if you guys would like to see the doc back on the channel. Yeah, Pony Girl, that's what I'm hoping. Going back to Rudy, reach one, teach one, and repeat, which is Rudy saying. So I felt that I reached that person, I taught that person, and hopefully he'll teach someone else, and so on and so on down forth. It's a great saying. All right, so we got a lot of ones coming in. Yes, 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 yes. That's the way it is. What's up, Wild Nesting? I didn't see you in there. Sarah Goldie, Flyover State. Everybody's saying 1. Not 1, 2 yet. So looks like everybody wants to see the doctor back on the channel. So I'll reach out to him this week. D14, this is about bringing Dr. Bradley, this CME and EMP doctor back on the channel for another follow-up interview. I know I have a lot more subscribers at this point now, so people would probably like to, ask some questions themselves. We were very interactive. We went for about a couple hours on that live stream, I think. So the general consensus is yes. So I will reach out to him. Donna, he spoke about the Mylar bags and trying to protect your phone and whatnot. 2 issues that I have with that. So yes, you can use, if the Mylar is, he explained it better than I could, but all Mylar is not created equally. And what he said about that, Donna, is if you save your phone, right? We get hit by an EMP or coronal mass ejection, right? You save your phone. You have it in a Faraday cage. Great. Your phone is saved. But the infrastructure, the cell towers and all the other stuff like that would be down. So your phone would still be somewhat useless to make communications. So then you're going to be pushed on to, let's say, I think it'd be better to put something in, let's say, if you have a Faraday cage or you're trying to use some sort of way to shield your products, I would probably use like shortwave radios, maybe even GMRS, ham radios, stuff like that. That's going to be more beneficial to you. Even if it's on just receiving mode on, let's say, a shortwave or something like that. So you can at least get information and be aware and get knowledge because the information is going to be critical at that point because there won't be no TV. There won't be no news. There won't be no YouTube. No one will be calling you on your phone. Your phone is just going to be whatever's on your phone is what you're on your phone, memories and stuff like that. Awesome. But to communicate or to receive information, I would suggest digging into, ham radios, CB, shortwave, crank radios, all that kind of stuff like that. I would dig into. Yeah, Milo, you will not be able to play Candy Crush. Thanks, Northern Girl. I appreciate that. South Florida DCL, yes, yes and no. I've been doing a lot of research on the microwave thing. Depending on the age of your microwave, the seals on your microwave, there's some issues there. I've been reading deep into the microwave thing of putting your stuff in a microwave if you know that EMP or CME is coming. There's it may or may not work. Put it that way. It's 50-50 depending on the age, the seals, and so on and so forth, how well your microwave shields that radiation. And it also depends on the type of radiation that you hit, you know what I mean? Because if it's depending on the strength of it per se, if it's a direct hit, let's say a direct hit, if it engulfs the planet, then that's something different. But if it's like a direct hit in a certain area, you probably have less chances, if that makes sense. Whew. Let me see. Your items can't touch the metal sides of whatever you use as a Faraday cage. Yeah, I was reading somewhere, Empress Kimberly, that some people will use styrofoam, some people will use cardboard inside the metal containers. Some people have asked about grounding, if it needs to be grounded, so it doesn't need to be grounded. I found there's a lot of information out there, but I'd rather the doc tell you guys than me because I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to tell you something and it be wrong and something bad happens and you're in the dark and you're like cursing, man, that dang gray man told me that this was going to work. So I don't want to do that to you guys. Thanks, JT. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's the issue. My microwave is 30 years old. I have an old one too, man. I have an old one too. I try not to use the microwave as much anymore. I really have it for certain things. I try, radiating your food and stuff like that. I understand the whole concept, and the speed of cooking food, but I prefer to. Thanks, Bonfire. Bonfire blessings. Yes. In Garden Koi, that's what I'm talking about. Is Dr. Arthur T. Bradley, one of my guests. So I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to try to get him back on the channel. I'll schedule it with him, and once I get a hold of him and talk to him, we'll see if he has time, and we'll schedule it. I'll let you guys know when to expect that. So do you guys have any last and final questions for GreyMan? We've a little bit over an hour here. You know, I really don't like to go too further over an hour unless it calls for that, if I have a guest or something like that. But I feel that I've been rambling on enough. Let me turn off this banner. Come back over here. When it comes to the doc, he knows his. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree with you guys 100%. Let's use all the info on his channel at your own risk. Yeah, you know, South Florida, you can, anybody can, how do I say this? Everybody has information. You know, you have some people that will promote certain products for EMP shielding. And then if you dig into the company, but you just don't know. All you can do is do your own research, research as much as you can, understand, digest that information, and hope that when that time comes, it works. None of us that have been alive have been through an EMP or a coronal ejection to the extent of Carrington event. Just saying. So you just don't know. All you can do is take the information, use the information to the best that you can, and hope it works. What is the money? My money is in my pocket or my bill collector's pocket. Trust but verify. Yeah, stay survived. Exactly. Even I tell people when I do my videos, no matter what I'm saying here on YouTube, don't take for what I say as gospel. Do your own research. I do some research. I read material from my experiences. I just share information, but take that step beyond that and follow up with your own research. Because like I said, I always tell people you want to pull all kinds of information from everywhere and draw your own conclusion. Excuse me. Right on, Curbs. Glenna Hayes, like I said, if you watch that, and I hate to push you over there, I just don't want to answer questions and get them wrong, Glenna. But he talked about that. He talked about the solar generators and generators in general in regards to what to do with them in regards to, you know, a coronal mass ejection or an EMP. Yeah, right. D14, when in doubt, blame GreyMan. That's funny. Good night, Ancy. Zombie Prepper, I don't know, brother. The tube loves to play games when it comes to notifications. I always tell people every once in a while, let's say once a month, check whoever you're subscribed to. Make sure you have all notifications on and just double check it. Sometimes I'll click on and off on it. If there's a channel that I follow that I know that they produce content. But Zombie, if it helps, maybe I need to put something somewhere. Maybe on my description page or something like that. Somewhere on my thing, I'll figure it out and I'll tell you guys Thursday to put my schedule on there. But usually every Tuesday and Thursday I'm live. Tuesday nights, I'm usually live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursdays, I'm live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, late night with Grey. So you have the Grey Exchange on 9 o'clock on Tuesdays. And then you have late night with Grey on Thursday nights. All right, folks, that about wraps it up, man. I want to say thank you to all the people that gave me a super chat. I want to say thank you to all the members. I want to say thank you to all the viewers. Appreciate all the thumbs up. You guys did a phenomenal job. I truly appreciate your support and being here. Hopefully you gain some value out of this information and share it with other folks. I will see you guys. I will be dropping a video tomorrow, and then I'll see you guys live again on Thursday. I hope everyone is safe out there. Stay prepped and stay vigilant. That's all we can do, folks. That being said, this is GreyMan. I'm just looking for my outro. But God bless. Stay safe. You guys have a great evening. Thank you for being here so much. And mods, don't let me forget the mods. Awesome people. Thank you for what you do. You guys are phenomenal people. Truly appreciate that. And Texas T coming in with the last super chat of the night. Thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Appreciate the support. Good night, Grey. Texas Prepper Life with Texas T. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. All right, folks. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm out of here.